Hi, hello. Welcome to Tea Time with TRA Tocklai. In today's episode, I would like to discuss about mechanization in tea fields. Mechanization is something that for the past 25 years we have been seeing in South Indian tea gardens, where it is getting intensified every day. If I remember correctly, it was in 1996 where I have seen a mechanical harvester operation in South Indian tea fields. A small workshop was conducted. Comparing to that kind of scenario, Northeast, it is less utilized. In South India, the labor scarcity was more for a long time. So they had to move to mechanization. But in Northeast, we have not felt it so. Now, the mechanization is a need of the day in Northeast because of draining workforce. To talk about this, I have invited today Dr. Rajashree Shaikia, who has been working with us for the past 12 years. And particularly, she has some advisory exposure also. She was an advisory officer in Nagarkata as well. So welcome, Dr. Rajashree, to the show.
My pleasure to be here.
Dr. Rajashree, we will talk about mechanization today.
Yes, sir.
Why do you think mechanization is important for tea?
Sir, mechanization in tea is important for many reasons. The main objective of adoption of mechanization tea are to mitigate the shortage of labor as absenteeism, migration, and shifting of captive workforce has been increasing in Northeast Indian tea plantation. Secondly, to reduce the cost of production. And third, timely completion of agricultural operations.
Correct. I'm just comparing my knowledge from South Indian tea plantations as well from time to time, because there the plucking ground in the high growing season will be like 10 days or 11 days. Even those times, they go for mechanization because they are not getting enough manpower. Here I can imagine that 7th day or 8th day how to pluck. So naturally the need for mechanization is more in Northeast due to the shortage in manpower.
Yes, sir. Especially during high
growing seasons. When we talk generally about mechanization, what are the important areas that you have identified or TRA has identified to go into mechanization?
The major areas in tea plantations for mechanization are plucking, pruning and skiffing, then pit digging for planting, then digging for replanting of tea, settle lopping or trimming. And apart from these areas, weed management can also be included in the mechanization program, particularly in young tea up to third year of planting.
So mechanization can be via media there itself.
Where application of herbicide is restricted in young tea up to third year of planting.
True.
Due to deep damage. And manual weeding is laborious as well as costly.
So there, once again, for weeding also we can use mechanization. So I think what is most important is harvesting operation, which is happening every day. The massive workforce from any plantation will be on harvesting. So what is the current status of plucking using mechanization?
So long-term field studies on plucking done at Tocklai indicated that use of motorized plucking machine during peak cropping season, means during rain plus period in between July to September, and hand plucking in rest of the year was found best combination in terms of both production and quality.
You mean to say the high growing season will be with harvesters, mechanical harvesters, and then in the lean seasons
we can
manual plucking because we may have enough man force.
And second, use a plucking machine throughout the year yielded poor leaf compared to traditional hand plucking. And third, a plucking machine when used during moisture test period recorded slow regeneration of new shoots. Therefore, plucking machine should not be used during moisture test period.
That makes sense. Already the plant is under stress, then you don't want to give a mechanical damage to that.
Fourth, a harvesting of 12 to 13 days was found to be optimum.
When using mechanization. Here, what kind of mechanization you are talking about? Is it just a shear harvesting or battery operated?
So one man operated machine and also two man operated machine.
Both in both the cases?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And fifth, as the leaf growth slows down with the decrease of temperature from end October onwards, machine plucking should be stopped. Otherwise, it takes much longer time to get the next round, which tend to loss in crop.
Yeah, that's quite understandable, yes.
As regards to green leaf quality, initial 2 rounds of mechanical plucking produce poor quality of leaves, and which should be sorted out before sending or taking to the factory.
To optimize the quality?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. Yes.
okay.
Usually, leaf quality stabilizes from the 3rd round onwards.
Yes, true.
Once the table is formed, machine plucking gives standard quality leaf. For 7 point, mechanized harvesting produce higher proportion of cut leaf as compared to hand plucking.
True.
And the metti produced from cut leaves during July to September was found to be better than October to December season.
Those are all the points that they have to take care of when they go for mechanical harvesting.
Both yield and quality.
Yeah. And when we talk about mechanical harvesting, the immediate thing comes in the attention is the bush health.
Yes.
What is the impact of mechanical harvesters on the bush physiology, particularly?
In general, mechanized harvester and shear resulted physiological stresses like reduced photosynthesis,
Yes.
increased leaf temperature, and higher respiration rate, and less water use efficiency. And leaf temperature was found higher under shear harvester compared to motorized harvester.
Okay.
And the leaf wax content was also found higher under machine plucking when it was used throughout the year.
So that's a defense mechanism probably
Yes,
by the plant.
yes.
Okay. So actually very good observation on plant physiological aspects.
Yes.
Yeah. See, like you also pointed out during our initial discussion, like there may be a crop decline due to
Yes, sir.
mechanical harvesting. Now, how to cope up with that? How do you manage that?
The adverse effect on yield can be minimized by using foliar application of selective nutrients like urea at the rate of 2% or NPK 2:1:2 at the rate of 1% after every round of mechanical plucking.
So, is it already documented? Is it
Yes. It is in our status report also.
Okay, good.
And both the nutrients should be sprayed alternatively.
Okay.
Means in alternate round.
Alternate rounds,
Alternate round. Secondly, retaining of creep of 4 to 5 centimeter in each round after mechanized plucking.
That's essential.
Yes, it is essential.
Yeah.
To keep the bud and a small one leaf and a bud on the plucking table.
Okay. But is that possible in the mechanical harvesting operation to retain first leaf and then bud? Is it possible?
Possible if the manpower is trained.
Fantastic, yes. Training is needed actually.
Yes.
Before getting into this kind of mechanical harvesting, they have to put the workforce in proper training. Yeah. And the other question immediately comes about pest and disease. Okay. By putting mechanical harvester on the field, is there any influence on pest and diseases?
So only leaf blight was observed at a very low level of intensity during warm and humid condition.
How about dieback? Dieback is more because of mechanical harvesting. Is there any observation like that?
When there is only stress.
Only stress.
It was observed only in stress period.
Okay.
Not in throughout the year.
Okay.
And it can be overcome by spraying of 2 rounds of 1 to 2% trichoderma or NDTRA approved fungicides like copper oxychloride, hexaconazole, premix of carbendazim and mancozeb at the recommended rate.
Okay. But when trichoderma can control it, that's the best to go with because most of our gardens are looking for export and clearance from FSSAI as well.
Yes,
so
sir.
If trichoderma can control, then trichoderma is the best option. But then if the severity is more, then you would suggest to go for
synthetic fungicide.
Fungicides, yeah.
Fungicide. It is worth mentioning that application of fungicide is need-based.
Okay.
It need not to be applied after every round of plucking.
Yeah, now I can see your advisory experience. And what we see normally around the gardens is the handheld shears.
Yes, sir.
What is your experience on that?
A shear harvester can also be used at 9 days interval and impart less physiological stress on tea bushes. And it can be used during peak cropping season, that is from July to September, and also early October.
Comparatively, it is less stressful to the plant.
Yes.
Okay.
And between two types of shears, commonly used in Northeast Indian tea plantation, raised shear perform better than flat shears.
Okay.
It can yield 40 to 45 kg green leaf per man day.
Per Monday, yeah. that's a good quantum. If it is manual plucking, how much normally?
So it is in between 25 to 28 kg.
Okay. Roughly like two times,
Yes,
we can
sir.
say at an average. Yeah. What should be the strategy for mechanical harvesting then?
So in Northeast India, to optimize both quantity and quality of crop, it is better to adopt a combination of both hand plucking and machine harvesting.
Okay. And the combination, when you say, even last time when we were talking to the planters, I think you were also there.
Yes.
They shouldn't go for 2 rounds with mechanical harvester, and then third round they should not immediately jump into hand plucking because they have manpower during that day or during that period. So that I think you'll have to slightly explain more. I think you have explained already about
Yes, sir.
the combination,
Yes,
how
sir.
it has
Yes,
to be
sir.
combined. Yeah.
But our experimental results say that mechanical harvesting should be done in between July to September,
Yeah.
and hand plucking should be done during rest of the season.
Fantastic. That's what you call it as combination.
Yes, sir.
Not
It is a best
alternating.
combination.
Yeah, not alternating.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And adopt traditional hand plucking during the high value cropping season, that is first and second plus, and also in early autumn plus. And mechanized harvester can be used during peak cropping season, that is in between July to September.
Okay.
Depending on the availability of labor, 10 to 20% of the area in a garden can be brought under mechanized plucking.
Initially, and then they can expand it
Yes, later.
with their own experiences. That is what is a better idea actually, because putting entire garden under mechanical harvesting and then the labor force is untrained will result in adverse effects. So it's better to convert only 15-20% of the land area initially, train the workforce properly, and then slowly they can expand it to other areas. And by the time they will also feel the reduction in manpower, like 5-6 years down the line,
Yes.
that's really going to happen. Yeah, that makes sense.
So mainly coincides with the absenteeism
Correct.
of worker.
Yeah,
In prune tree, the tipping height to be increased before a start of machine plucking.
okay. Yeah, that's true. Yes. So that has to happen through manual plucking,
It is only for mechanized harvesting.
mechanical harvesting. Okay. If they want to put the field under machine plucking, it is better to tip it at a different height.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, slightly
It's
above.
Slightly higher.
Slightly higher.
Slightly
Okay.
higher.
They can consult
Than the normal.
they can consult with the nearby advisory center
Yes, sir.
for the optimal height. Yeah, good. And is there any difference in planting material, their responses towards mechanical harvesting?
Many Camboard clones like TB22, TB23, TB9, and even TB25 and TB26 can be preferred in mechanized harvesting.
Oh, they are preferable for mechanical
Yes, yes.
harvesting.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Apart from planting material, is there any preferred field for mechanical harvesting?
Yes, sir. High-yielding, compact, unpruned sections are preferable for mechanized plucking.
Okay. What is the reason for high yielding?
If the section is high-yielding,
Yeah.
then definitely the bush health will be good.
Okay. That makes
Yes, sir.
sense. Yeah. Right. So that will withstand the stress of mechanical harvesting.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Good.
And the bushes should be free from pests and diseases like poria and termite.
Yeah.
The sections having bushes with knotty frames and twiggy top hamper growth should not be considered for machine plucking.
Correct. Yeah.
And third, avoid old sections with high percentage of vacancies.
Yeah.
And fifth, the section should have good shade status. The height of the bush should be less than or equal to 90 centimeter.
That's very good. Yeah.
Preferably, it should be in the range of 60 to 80 centimeter.
Okay. Yeah.
And beyond this height, plucking will be problematic.
Problematic. Okay. Because you need to raise your shoulder and hand.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The age of the bush should be in the range of 15 to 30 years.
Yeah. The health of the bush is very important when
Yes,
it
yes,
comes
sir.
to, you pointed out rightly. Casually, I remember a manager was talking to me who worked in both in South as well as now in Northeast. He was commenting that in South India, killing a plant, tea plant, will be very difficult. No, whatever you do, it will try to come back only. But in Northeast, the plant health is not that good. It's a shallow rooted because of the soil structure
Yes, sir.
and so many other issues. If a man wants to remove a bush, probably with 10-20 shakes, he will be able to uproot the plants. That's what he was mentioning in a lighter sense rather. Yeah, that's very important. That's why I think the mechanization is getting delayed in Northeast India. The bush health is not withstanding the mechanization stress created.
Bushes are also old.
Old and weak.
Vacancy.
In South also,
bushes
in South also, the bushes are really old. But then the health is maintained. Even though they are old, the health is maintained. Because root diseases are very minimal in South. Here you have a lot of root diseases because of water table. Mostly because of water table.
High water table.
Yeah. So such differences are there. So we cannot really adopt what is being done in South in Northeast. That's what I would like to highlight at the end of this. Yeah. And when you said about compact field, you don't want a lot of gaps in between the bushes, right? That will be not good for mechanical operation. Yeah, that's understandable. I think we have come to almost to the end of the show. But an important question comes to me. How do you maintain these harvesters on a daily basis?
So good and regular maintenance of plucking machine is important for uninterrupted use of plucking machine. And at the end of daily operation, the plucking machines should be checked, cleaned and dried, and followed by coconut oil shaping. All screws and nut bolts should be tightened properly. And lastly, fill the required quantity of 2T per liter of petrol in the fuel tank as mentioned in instruction manual. It has to be maintained? Yes, sir. Okay. All right. It was nice talking to you, Dr. Rajshri Saikia. You have given a lot of information and insights about mechanical harvesting. And to the planters, I would like to tell that Dr. Rajshri Saikia has taken over as in charge of agronomy division a couple of months ago. And she already has advisory experience, as I mentioned during the start of the show. And she will be coming around to talk to you during AASC meetings. So if you have any doubts on mechanical harvesting, and then she will be the right person as of now to talk about it. So see you in the AAC next time in your area. Thank you, Dr. Rajshri, for coming to the show and then explaining the mechanical harvesting in a nicer and simpler way. Thank you for coming to the show. Thank you, sir, for inviting me to this platform today. Pleasure. Thank you.